Hey guys, and welcome back to Diablo 3. Last time we opened the 2 shadow locks, and now we could enter the realm of shadow. But first we're going back to town. Because I want to put an intelligence gem into this mojo, equip it, and then since I'm using the enchantress right now and she has a fairly bad staff, I think, well, this one might be a little better, so
magnificent.
Yeah. Might as well give her that. No reason not to, I guess. And I think I'll salvage the rest. Yeah. And when you salvage an item which has gems in it, you get the gems back, so... something that's maybe worth noting. And I can switch to the greater health potions as well now. Minor, lesser health potions, okay. I'm just keeping the weaker ones for when I start new characters, basically. And last but not least, I want to check out the blacksmith. Anything new? I could make new pants, which don't even cost me that much, so let me make 10 pants. 20 of the fallen tooth, 110 of the essences, and like 9,000 gold. That's fine. And I'll check them out once they're all done. I tend to like make fairly large amounts of things. So I've got a good choice of things to choose from. And weapons. Can equip anything new? No. Okay then. How many sockets did it say I got from the armor actually? The helmet I already have, but the leggings 4 random magic properties, so the 2 sockets come from a single random magic property, that's good. Actually I'm kind of gonna have to remove the gem from this one, because it's not a fair comparison. Actually, talk to me about the jewel's price.
I think I was wrong about the jewel I seek. It's not in this land either. Oh, what a pity.
Why do you search for this jewel so persistently?
Because it has killed thousands. And because I'm the only one who can hold it without harm.
Because you are a god?
No, because it has already taken everything from me that matters. But enough of that. I have gone too long without spiced beef and spicier wine.
Fair enough. So let's not argue. This thingy, remove gem. Thank you. And now back to the checking out stuff. Not that bad. I'm just looking at something that increases my damage overall. Okay. I would lose a bit of an XP bonus, but that's fine, I guess. Let me check it out. I've got tons of gems anyway. Well, I don't have that many of the intelligence ones, but that's fine. Okay. I'm thinking I'll just take the ones with 2 sockets. Nope. They go right here. And then the rest is going to be salvaged. I don't really care too much about the additional effects. I don't think pants can have anything really useful anyway. So yeah, I'm just sticking with that. I think that was the only dialogue I had, so again, sorry about the possibly slightly boring beginning, but I want to get these things done as well.
Waiting to be opened.
So remember, first we had to fetch his head, then we had to fetch his blood, then we had to go find this place, then we had to open those 2 shadow locks, now we have to find his body. As I said, it's just a lot of fetch me this, bring me that kind of stuff.
Rodrum did all this to lock my body away. They must have been very angry with me.
That's certainly
I'm
one way to put
surprised.
it.
Few people take betrayal lightly.
They were never very imaginative.
Fine. I actually wanted to check back first, because I don't think there's going to be much here anyway. There usually isn't. But I wanted to do the full exploration, so I'm doing it.
You are mine now.
This looks very similar to those shadow locks we opened, but it apparently broke. I have to say I'm glad for the poison darts for like boss encounters. But against hordes of enemies they are really bad. Not as bad as a toad, I will grant you that.
Need more time. I strike at your heart.
But still fairly bad. The problem is there would be so many cool things you could do if you could combine runes, but you can always only choose one. What I would like is if there was an option, which would be a lot of work for programming, so I'm not saying they should have done that. Well, I'm saying I would have liked it, but I'm not saying it would have been so easy they could have put it in. Is that you could combine runes. So basically it wouldn't be that you had a list and you choose one, but you have a list and you choose all the ones you like. But basically the more you choose, the less powerful the individual effect gets. So for example, right now they add a
The energy swirling throughout these chambers could corrupt the soul forever.
So right now I get mana when I hit an enemy with them. And it's 23 mana is if I only have that rune, and I would have liked that if I, for example, if I choose 2 more runes, I would just get maybe a third of the mana, so I would get about 8 mana per hit. So that I could choose to have like multiple effects, but the more I want, the less useful the individual ones get.
The spirits aid me.
Oh yes, against these hordes of these shadow creature things, which are really weak, the Grasp of the Dead is really good. Because it can actually kill them in a few seconds. And you tend to be assaulted by a lot of them. It's kind of like what they do, because they're quite weak individually. Okay, boss encounter. This is Zoltankul's body, which is obviously protected by these things. And as you see, they do not stand very long against the poison darts. But firstly, I think there's some more exploration left to do. Give me that. Thank you. Right? Yeah, we're still missing a bit. For any sort of speedrun, it would be quite lucky to find the exit first. But for what I'm doing, it makes for slightly less interesting video content. Yeah, I guess this is a good point as any, actually, to bring up a topic which has kept many YouTubers very upset in recent days, is the new content ID system on YouTube. I've actually heard from various medium to large size LPers that many of them are now considering not doing YouTube anymore because of how terrible the content ID system is. And I've had to deal with that before myself. The change largely is now that they've changed how it works. Smaller LPers have to deal with it as well. Larger ones, I'm sorry. Because they are no longer thought to be immune because they are so big, basically. And just to clarify, there's nothing against a content producer, like a musician or something, earning money with his stuff. I'm not saying anyone should be able to use someone else's content for free. So, for example, but there should be some sort of reasonableness to it. If a guy, for example, there's this guy, don't want to go into too much detail, but basically he's doing video game reviews. Now, if a game is bad, he says it's bad, but for the most part, he's dealing with games that he likes, and most of his reviews end up being quite positive. So he does point out bad things about games, but in general, it's just a normal review. He's coming to a conclusion about if he thinks the game is good or not. And he would tend to invest a lot of time into his videos. So he would do, like, say, a 20-minute review of a game, for which he would play the game for 20, 30, 40 hours, and then do all the editing and stuff. And with the new system being as it is, if he has 5 seconds of a music song playing in the background, not even like him just doing the music, just putting the music in the video, just having it somewhere in the background playing, the entire video gets claimed and all the profit from that video goes to someone else. And that's not really fair, in my mind. Now, sometimes for comedic purposes you do use songs and stuff. It's just what these review guys tend to do. And under at least US copyright, and I think it's, well, I know it's the same in Germany, I'm not certain how it is in different countries. But basically, for the purposes of commentary, sarcasm, satire and such, you are allowed to use extracts of copyrighted material, as long as it's not like... as long as you actually do something with it. So you couldn't take an entire song, upload it, and then in the end say, I think that song was great. That would not constitute criticism, obviously. Well, it would be criticism, but it wouldn't be sanctioned under that particular law. But taking 5 seconds of a song to make a humorous point in a video review or something, that would be perfectly legitimate. But that's not how the system works. The system as it stands now on YouTube gives the entire power to the large companies that quote-unquote own content. I'm saying quote-unquote because fairly often these claims are just bogus. These companies, they basically just feed video information, audio information into the system, saying this is ours. And the system then checks all the videos that there are, basically, to see if there's anything similar to what it's been given. And if it detects anything, it says, okay, that's by someone else, you're not allowed to use that, they get money for it now. It's not the same thing as getting a copyright strike, that's obviously different. Like someone uploading a full movie to YouTube. They should get a copyright strike, they should get banned, and that video should get taken down. no question asked. That's perfectly legitimate, obviously. But the problem is, it is a very easily abused system, because any larger YouTube network, or any, I think you just have to be some sort of certified YouTube expert or something. I don't know what the exact term was, but you can take a course, and like it's like a one-day seminar or something, and that makes you a YouTube expert, quote unquote, and that means you can feed that system with information and get money for videos that include content that you own, which in theory is a good thing. Obviously, if you upload a video and you put someone else's song to that video, they should get money for it. That's fine. But the system is overzealous, basically. Anything it detects, it instantly claims the entire video, not just part of the profit. All of the profit goes to whoever claimed it. And the system, like YouTube itself, at no point does a human being actually check if that's a valid claim. It's all automatic, because of so many videos, so many claims. It's almost impossible to get a human to do it. So what happens is...
The shadows themselves rise against us.
Yes, they do. What happens is that the video basically gets claimed by the automatic system because...
You do not trust me. I understand. But we are more alike than you know. We have both tasted what it is to be Nephilim. Join with me, and we can become the masters of this world.
I have joined with you as much as I please to.
Yeah, as much as I have to, really. So when the system now detects something that's similar to something it's been fed, it instantly claims it. If you refute that claim saying that's not correct because of this and that, for example, if you're saying fair use, I only used 5 seconds of a song, or fair use, this was in context of commentary and criticism which is allowed. Or if you're saying this is royalty-free music, I'm allowed to use it, which I've had happen to me as well. This again does not get checked by a real human as such. It gets bounced back to the person who made the original claim. So for example, if, as I've had it happen with the Scale Lab network, which claim in-game video content for some reason, just as a hoax to make money, I would assume. So if I fight that claim saying that's not legit, this is, for example, this is a Diablo 3 in-game video, a random YouTube network has no rights to that. It doesn't get bounced back to YouTube, it gets checked by the Scale Lab network. Now, because they know what they're doing is not right, they will take the claim back. So if you refute it, they will say, okay, fine, please don't tell anyone, basically. It's not really a problem, it's more annoying than problematic. But for others, which are more certain of their claims, they will just say that, okay, you refuted, but we're not accepting it, and they will say reinstate the claim. And if you fight it again, the system already tells you if this doesn't go through, you get a copyright strike. So it's very discouraging to fight a claim that's been refuted once. Whether no fighting it has been refuted, you get what I'm meaning. If it's been reinstated once, fighting it again risks a lot more. So very discouraging for that, which means stuff like the random Merlin phonophile thing. They basically have a lot of indie music artists joining their network saying, okay, this is my music, all I've ever done. If you see that anywhere, please give me money for it. And then they claim anything they see that sounds like any of that music. But a lot of these artists have, for example, done music soundtracks for games. And now you're getting these audio hits for the game because of the in-game music. Which, in a way, is legit. But then, the system should be for fighting pirates and fighting people who upload content that's not legitimate. But think about it, I'm playing the game, the background music is part of the game, and it's not like I could separate it out. Watching an LP of a game is in no way a replacement for buying the soundtrack. And especially if I'm not even stopping and saying listen to the music and I'm being quiet for a minute. I could almost understand that, but I'm not doing that. I'm playing the game, speaking all the time, the music is in the background. Like just now. There's music in the background, I'm still speaking. But you can sort of hear the music. Which is all it takes for the entire video to be claimed by someone. Now it doesn't happen for Diablo 3, it happens... To me it has happened almost exclusively to Fallout 3, which is why I'm stopping that LP. Well, I actually had to turn the music off, basically. But yeah. I'm not even certain if the second time you fight a claim it gets looked at by someone else. But the first time it just gets looked at pretty much by the person who made the claim originally. So they said, okay, this is content that we own, we want money for it. You're saying, no, it really isn't, I'm allowed to use this, please take this back. And they can then just say, no, we really want money for this. And they're big companies, obviously they want money for it. Now some of them, as I said, the Scale Lab network, they know they really don't have a right to claim those things, so they don't have much of a choice. Because if you went back and then refuted again, a real person from...
The Prophet did not mention what a bore you can be.
Fine, I'll continue. And I'll maybe talk about this again a little bit next time, because it's a big issue on YouTube at the moment. So I'll see you in a bit.